This is Stephanie Hoff from WisPolitics.com and WisBusiness.com, welcoming you to a webcast conversation with the state's superintendent candidates. This is a special series we're doing in partnership with the Milwaukee Tech Hub Coalition. The Tech Hub recognizes K-12 computer science education as vital to growing the region's technology economy. So ahead of the February 16th primary, we're going to see what the candidates have to offer. Each candidate is asked the same 3 questions from the Tech Hub. They did not see the questions ahead of time or hear each other's responses before recording. Deb Kerr is here with me today. She was most recently the superintendent of Brown Deer School District, and that's in the Milwaukee region. Deb, thanks for coming on with me today.
I am just thrilled to be here and talk about this important topic of integrating computer sciences into our K-12 school system. So thank you, Stephanie.
So Deb, every industry is undergoing some kind of digital transformation. So technological literacy is really a gateway to upward mobility. However, technology and computer science standards are not consistently integrated into the expectations for a college and career-ready graduate. How is this specifically addressed by the equity-aligned priorities of your platform?
First of all, we need to better connect the dots between our schools and economic workforce needs in all of our communities and across our great state of Wisconsin. And so in order to grow tech talent and really drive economic success, we have to have foundational standards that will teach our kids the knowledge and skills and dispositions that they need to be successful in a global economy. And right now we have some standards that are doing that, but what I've realized is that some of these standards have been developed without including the vital business partners and the industries that our kids will be so talented to go into their pipeline for future workforce. And so my equity vision is making sure that all of our kids have the access and opportunity to pursue a career that they are excited about. And so my campaign has what's called Our Wisconsin Promise, where we will know each student by name, strength, and need, and they will graduate prepared to go into a future that they choose.
Another issue that we're going to touch on today is the teacher and substitute shortage, which has been exacerbated by COVID-19. And teachers in Wisconsin are not generally required to demonstrate proficiency in tech and computer science. Those that do are more likely to find opportunities in the private sector. So what public policy measures would you advocate for to ensure more capacity for tech literacy in schools, despite that shrinking supply of teachers who might be capable of achieving those outcomes?
First of all, I want to do a shout out to all the teachers and the parents out there who have been serving their kids in a lot of different ways through this virtual learning experience through this pandemic. I do believe that teachers have a more profound appreciation from all of those who work in our communities, and they've been doing a wonderful job. However, we just did what we could do during that time because we didn't have particular teachers that were trained in how to teach in a virtual learning setting or in a hybrid model. And so we've been kind of writing this pandemic playbook as we go along on how do we support quality professional development for our teachers. So one of the ways that we need to think about in terms of putting more teachers into the pipeline is growing our own programs right within our schools. So we were starting a Grow Your Own program by looking at our paraprofessionals who were excited and doing great jobs in their roles, but for some reason there were barriers that prevented them from pursuing their teacher license. There's new educator rising groups coming up throughout the country, but in a lot of our schools in Wisconsin. And so I would help promote those educator rising groups where we recruit diverse teachers right from our own student body.
So about 52% of public high schools in Wisconsin offer a computer science course, but there are still many barriers to offering those to purposely include girls and students of color. Can you give us 2 to 3 of the largest barriers you see, and how will you and your team address those if elected?
Well, first of all of our kids need to see people who look like them. So what I do know is that 93% of the workforce in IT are males. We've got to change that. And so it's about promoting girls in tech, girls in computer science, girls in engineering, so that our kids can be inspired to go into those careers. And so I look at other leaders across our great state of Wisconsin, such as Anne Franz, the executive director of the Northeast Wisconsin Manufacturing Alliance, which she is working closely in the Green Bay schools to elevate not only workforce development, but programs that get our kids exposed to all the careers that are afforded to them. I also look at some wonderful leaders like in the Milwaukee Tech Hub who are being innovative and trying to bring people into this pipeline no matter where they start. I also think of Adonica Randall. She is one of the few African-American women in tech and running the company Abaxon. There's Michelle Truman from Cisco, Michelle Schuler from TechSpark, and a really good friend of mine, Crystal Beamont, who is the first female, one of the first female CEOs of Talent, a data analytics company out of San Francisco. And so we need to get these kinds of leaders in front of our girls and promote the profession. So all of these skills are important because it's my understanding that the largest growing field of the work sector is computer science skills. And so through those skills touch every other sector. So our kids need to be not only exposed, but they have to master those computer skills to get into these technology jobs.
Well, that's great. Deb, I want to thank you so much for coming on to share your thoughts with us today and wish you the best of luck in the primary.